Claude 4 Opus versus Gemini 2.5 Pro. Who wins? Today we're going to be testing them out side by side and just running some examples and seeing how it goes. So essentially what you've got here is Claude, and then if we come over here, we have AI Studio, and we can basically test them out side by side, see how they perform, and see which gets us the best results, my friend. And one thing I would say from what I've seen so far, Claude 4 Opus is crazy powerful, but so is Gemini 2.5 Pro. So let's get straight into testing them, and we'll see how it goes, all right? We're going to take these example prompts, and we'll pull them up side by side. So the first thing that we're going to build is Space Invaders game, all right? So I'm just going to pull them up, and then we can test them, see how they perform alongside each other. So we've got AI Studio over here, and then we'll have Claude 4 Opus over here. The other thing that we'll try and do here is just one-shot them, right? So we'll try and see how they perform for one-shots. Maybe we'll go back and forth a little bit between them, but the main goal here is just to make it easy and keep testing them side by side. So let's give it a cheeky whirl. So this is Claude 4 Opus, as you can see, and we're going to select Gemini 2.5 Pro from the list. This is super expensive, but that's the price to pay for you. So we're going to run this now, and we're going to run this prompt that basically says, create a visually stimulating Space Invaders game where aesthetics triggers loads of dopamine and looks amazing on screen, plus loads of stuff happening. Make sure you have a central player that can shoot, etc. Single HTML. And we'll run the prompts basically at the same time, just see how they perform side by side. And we'll get the party started. So what you can see here, actually, this is quite interesting already, is the AI Studio was stuck in thinking mode, whereas if we go over to Claude over here, you can see that actually Claude went straight into creating the content. So you can trigger thinking mode on Opus as well. You can do that inside the UI, like if you just toggle the extended thinking option. We can see him coding. It actually looks like AI Studio is a lot faster for writing the code. Look how quick that is coming out. It's blasting it out. So we got the code back from Claude. Let's take this. Copy that, and we'll go over to online previewer. And we'll see what we got back here. So this is the example from Claude Opus. Honestly, not really that much happening. If we try and shoot right here, nothing really comes up in the scores. It looks pretty cool though, to be fair to it. Let's have a look now at the code from AI Studio. We'll grab that. Here we go. That is looking way better. I think AI Studio wins that one. Look at that. It's actually really fun to play. I'm not going to lie to you. The effects are crazy. If we go back to Claude now, you can see there's nothing going on there. It's not that interesting, not much happening, etc. So I'm going to say that Claude won the first one. Sorry, I'm going to say that AI Studio won the first one. Gemini 2.5 Pro. Let's move on and we'll start the next round. So what we're going to say is build dopamine drums, visual circular drum machine interface, tap the beat, blah, blah, blah. We'll run that. Basically, we're trying to build like a drum machine sort of game. Let's see if we can actually do this with Opus as well. We'll see what we get back. Mate, in the meantime, I'm going to get back to playing that game. That was incredible. See, the effects are just insane. Insane. By the way, if you want to get this stuff, feel free to get it inside the AI Success Lab. Completely free. You can grab all the prompts from me from today. Plus, there's tons of other training in there, as you can see on the left-hand side. But basically, all the tests that we're running today, you can see all the prompts, steal them from me and run them yourself. And you can do it for free inside AI Studio. So everything you're seeing is free if you're using Gemini 2.5 Pro. You got to bear in mind as well, like Claude is a lot more expensive, right? So Claude, if you're using that on OpenRouter, is the prices are like, they're crazy for Opus 4. Crazy. Whereas, for example, AI Studio, you can actually code for free if you're just using it within the token limits. And if you're absolutely rinsing it, I think it's about 10% of the price, something like that. It's definitely more than 50% cheaper. So, you know, when you're building this stuff out, like, so far we've seen better outputs from 2.5 Pro Preview, and also it's a lot cheaper too. So let's test the next one from Claude. This is for the drum machine. So let's see what we got back here. I mean, it's looking pretty cool, to be fair. Look at that. So this is dopamine drums, the one and only. I've actually muted that, so I'm just going to unmute that. It's gone mad. It's gone mad. I'm going to have to shut that down. It went mad, but that was really cool. To be fair, like the output from Opus there was just insane. That was absolutely insane. Let me just plug that code back in there for you. Just don't press it too much. I've never seen anything like that from an AI before. That was crazy. Crazy stuff. All right, let's go on to AI Studio now. We'll see what we get back here. So we're going to take the code and then plug that into LiveWeave. This is from Gemini. Plug that in. Here we go. So side by side, this is quite interesting actually. If you look at them side by side, you can see here that Gemini 2.5 Pro, it doesn't look as nice visually, right? That looks way nicer. But if we actually compare, you've also got options for tempo, which is pretty cool. So let's play this. Incredible. I don't like that. Mate, music lessons would have been way more fun with AI back in the day. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I'm going with either of them, I think you're going to go with this one. It just looks a lot more modern, a lot more interesting. This one is cool, but I just don't think the AI looks as nice. I mean, it's amazing that both of them actually work for the sound effects and everything like that. And literally all we did was just give it one prompt. Both of these tools are crazy good, crazy powerful. Should we go make it go mad again? Let's try that again. All right, that was enough of that. You get the point. Crazy stuff. All right. You could play with that all day. I mean, to be fair to both of them, like they both create awesome stuff. But if I had to pick one, I'm going with Claude Opus. So just to be clear here, Gemini won the first round, Claude won the second round. It's neck and neck. They're both creating awesome stuff. Let's keep it going now. Keep it rocking and rolling. So next up, what we're going to do, we're going to build a rage clicker game with one giant button that makes money flash the screen and triggers dopamine-inducing sound effects. Evolve the button every 100 clicks, single HTML. Let's plug that into AI Studio. We'll plug this in here as well. For this one, I want to see how long it's going to take, so I'm actually going to start the timer for both of them. See what we get back. So AI Studio is pretty fast right there. They're both kind of neck and neck, both coding out like maniacs. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. I can see it's neck and neck on the votes as well. A lot of people still loving Gemini, to be fair. So Claude took 42 seconds. Gemini, I don't know what it's doing here. It's gone mad. This is the audio ID that's coding out here. So if you actually look at a speed test, this is taking a lot longer with Gemini, but it's all about the outputs, isn't it? It's all about the quality of the outputs. Is it broken? Yeah, look at that. It's actually failed to generate the content. So we've got this error message at the bottom that says failed to generate content. That was after a minute, so Gemini kind of failed here, but let's see what we got back from Opus. Copy the message. We'll plug that in. Here we go. And let's start rage clicking. Alright, so it should change at 100 clicks. Wow, smashed it, smashed it. I mean, let's be honest. If I had to pick one, I'm going with Claude. Gemini totally failed there, crashed, couldn't handle it. Claude was like, no problem, mate. Let's make it as weird as we can. And did its magic. So Claude has already taken the lead on the tests. Let's try another one. So we're going to say, create a one-tap flying bird game with trippy backgrounds involving music, explosion effects. Every tap triggers particle bursts and sound ping, single HTML. So we'll go inside here. We'll go inside here. Just to be clear here as well, so Claude was a lot faster on that round. Claude actually created the output after 42 seconds. And this is without enabling extended thinking. Let's go in the settings here. Does anyone know how to enable extended thinking inside OpenRouter? Or do we have to switch the models here? Whilst we're waiting for that, I'm intrigued to see what the usage is on that. Like, how much money did we spend? So let's go over to activity. We'll see what we're spending here. It's not that bad, to be fair. It's not that bad, right? So if we look at the last few tests, 40 cents, 27 cents, 23 cents. I mean, they all were one shot, so we didn't do that much coding. But the outputs we got back were really good, and it didn't cost that much for code that was just done first time round. Let's copy this and check it out. Pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Not bad, not bad at all. Let's take a look at Claude. Wow. Ooh. This is a close tie, to be fair. I'm going to say it's a tie. Yeah, I'm going to say they're tied there. Both of them were really good. Both of them good outputs there. I was impressed. Let's try this one. So we're going to say build a racer game where you control a ship dodging obstacles to the beat of music. But I'm not going to put the music in actually because it's... Well, why not? Why not actually? Let's just try it. Let's just try it. So we're going to run that and then we're going to go over to here. New room. Let's see what we get back. To be honest with you, from what I can see, like, I would say... I mean, here's the crazy thing. It's like the outputs are very similar. But, I mean, how are you going to get through there? That was madness. Absolute madness. But to be honest with you, like, Gemini is free. It's not costing us any money to generate this stuff, right? So in that way, I would say Gemini actually won. So I'm going to put 2-2 for this. And the next one could be the decider. So we've got the output back from Claude here. We should take a moment to appreciate how good these models are and how far we've come, by the way. Like, it's unbelievable. So we're going to plug this one in. Say that. How do you play it? Ah. I see. So you move the mouse like that. Here we go. Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. Alright. Gemini is going to have to come back with something impressive to beat that. Let's see what we got here. We'll copy that code. We'll plug it in, peeps. Last one, last round. Who's going to win? Oh, it's let us down there. We have to upload our own music. That's not impressive at all. All right, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a shot. What I'm going to say is let's go to SEO AI. And from here, we're going to take one of our songs. Let's go inside and see what we got. We got some, basically, SEO, if you're not familiar with it, basically it's an AI music generator. Really cool. Generates some nice stuff. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to download the audio from here. And this song is called My Dad's on TikTok. And Now I Fear for the Internet. And we're going to upload that into the game to see if it actually works. So let's plug in the MP3 there. And then we'll start the game.
Dance, looks more like a fight. Snapping fingers wrong while his pants too tight. Thinks he's in a cypher rapping his old school jams, but his balls are softer than microwave hand. Tries to dance, looks more like a fight. Snapping fingers wrong while his pants too tight. Tries to dance, looks more like a fight. Snapping fingers wrong while his pants too tight. Thinks he's in a cypher rap. Tries to dance, looks more like a fight.
All right. So if I had to pick one, I'm going with I'm going with Gemini, to be fair. Like, that was insane. That was insane. You could basically match the game to the music, use whatever song you want. The upload actually worked, and the idea was genius. So, Gemini won 3-2 there. I mean, both of those models were very impressive. Bear in mind, Gemini is also free as well, so you can go with it for free inside AI Studio. If you want all the links to all this stuff, all the resources, all the prompts, etc., and even some information on Suno and all that sort of stuff, feel free to get it inside the AI Success Lab. Link in the comments and description. And appreciate you watching, peeps, all right? So we're just going to close that. Also, we're giving away free AI trainings inside here pretty much daily, sometimes twice a day, as you can see. Very active community, and this comes with all of our best trainings. It's completely free. Link in the comments and description. Inside there as well, if you need more help, if you need more coaching support, etc., if you want to join an awesome community, feel free to join the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments in the description. Appreciate you watching, and you now know who won, right? So if we had to put a winner, it's going to be Gemini. It was very close, but bear in mind as well, AI Studio is free, and it's only getting better. So yeah, absolutely amazing stuff. Mind-blowing what you can build with it these days. All right, so Project Marina is Google's new AI agent. This is a research prototype exploring the future of human-agent interaction, starting with browsers. So essentially what you can do here is, according to Google, you can automate multiple tasks simultaneously. You do have to be on the Ultra plan for this. It only came out a few days ago. I've got access, and I'm going to show you exactly how we use it and how powerful it is. So basically what this is doing is you can type in a prompt and it will just go off and do time-consuming tasks. For example, like research, planning, data entry. It can tackle tasks simultaneously in browsers, running on virtual machines, etc. Here's an example. As you can see here, it's like flicking between Google Drive, checking stuff out. It can shop and browse the internet for you. You can save different tasks and then train it for later. And we'll be testing out today. As well as that, it can also reason multimodally, which means that basically it can like observe what's going on in your browser and then click make action, etc. Right now, we're going to be testing out to see how impressive it is, how good it is, and whether it's actually worth it. I've got a bunch of prompts today that we're going to be testing out, so if you want to know what the prompts are, inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. So we're going to do 5 prompts. Find 5 great ideas for my next video, search for Julian Goldie's latest video, find a way to preview my code, and also log into this email address, and then the final task will be sending an email and just seeing whether it's capable of doing each of these tasks. So let's try one of these tasks now. We'll give this a cheeky whirl. Just going to have to sign in on the background, folks. I'll do that in a sec. All right. So here we have Project Marina. This is what it looks like once you've logged in. You can switch between like your saved, your ended tasks, etc. So for example, I've tested out a couple of times here, like new Google Doc about SEO training or browseapple.com. And now we're going to run those tests that we talked about earlier. So let's get straight into this. Someone asked what type of earphones are these? These are noise cancelling earphones. I just use them so I can focus sometimes when I'm creating videos. So we're going to run with the first idea, which is find 5 great ideas for my next video about AI updates that are super relevant to specific headlines today, right? So I'm going to plug that in now. This is going to have to start a new environment and it can be a little bit slow, but let's see how it performs. The other thing that I would say here is that when we're doing this, what I'm watching for, what I'm trying to find is like, can it actually research relevant stuff? So hopefully it doesn't give me like, say, for example, an idea to do a video about ChatGPT 4 that no one really cares about, right? Like we're looking for actual useful ideas that have come out recently. For example, like could be Veo 3 or Google Flow or one of the latest updates. And we'll see if Project Marina is capable of doing that. So now it's typing in the latest AI headlines, May 2025, into the search bar and clicking the search button to find recent AI news. So you can see on the right hand side the ideas and what it's doing, and then on the left hand side this is the actual screen, so it's controlling the screen right here. Now what's interesting is on Project Marina it's asked for an AI overview, but it's not finding that AI overview, which is quite interesting. Seems like AI overviews doesn't work when Project Marina is trying to do it. So I'm just going to move myself out of the way here, and you can see the screen preview now. And now it's saying I see a consent banner at the bottom of the page that I need to interact with. Can I accept? So I'm just going to take over the screen and click accept now. We have to allow that. So that's one of the annoying things here, is like it still struggles with basic stuff like accepting cookies. So we'll resume there. Bear in mind, like imagine every single website, you know, if you're in Europe, for example, has a cookies banner, and that means every time it's browsing the internet, you have to accept the cookies on those new sites if you haven't done it before. So it says task complete. Let's see what we got back here. And we'll see if it's interesting. So the first thing that it came up with was video idea, Alibaba's AI prowess, is the US dominance under threat? Honestly, like that's not an interest. I don't think that's an interesting topic, honestly. I mean, it is about Quinn and that sort of thing, but it's kind of generic. The next one is video idea, AI fakes and real consequences. That's super old, right? Like this is talking about stuff from May the 4th, whereas we want it based on today's headline. We literally said headlines today, mate. And it's giving us old stuff, which I don't really like. AI in schools, May 2nd. So you can see here a lot of the old, you know, especially if you were trying to find like relevant topics to today, which is specified inside the prompt, it's not doing that. It's not got that ability to do that. So to be honest, it's just not that interesting, not that good. So I would say, honestly, it gave us some ideas for task 1, but it didn't do very well. So let's try the next one now. We're going to say, search for Julian Goldie's latest YouTube video titled Claude 4 versus Gemini 2.5 and tell me how many views it has. You can also see that it actually takes quite a long time for the prompt to appear in the chat. So you see how the prompt that I've just typed in didn't appear in the chat just yet, and it's thinking about it now. It's trying to figure stuff out. Takes a little while. Let's see what it's doing here. So if we scroll down in the chat, it's figured out what to do. So it's selected YouTube. I should search for Julian Goldie. If typed into the search bar, task complete. And it says, Julian Goldie's latest completed YouTube video titled Claude for Gemini 2.5 Pro has 9.6K views. He also has a currently live video on a similar topic. And you can see the live video down here. So this is super interesting because number one, it can figure out that that was 2 days ago and this was 19 hours ago, and therefore this is the most recent video. And number two, it can read the number of views here. So it might be really good for basic research tasks, that sort of thing. I would say it passed that test really well. It did a great job there. Next up, what we're going to do is we're going to say find a way to preview this code and preview it. All right, and then I'm going to take some code that I just run in LiveWeave and see if it can preview it. Right. So if we have a look at this code that we pull up here, this is the code, and it should look something like this, right? So you can see here we've got the game ready to go. So we're going to take that and then plug it in here. We've plugged in the HTML and see if it can actually figure out how to preview the code and whether it can actually show it inside the browser here. Now you got to bear in mind here, you know, this option, it costs $249 per month with Project Marina. You do get access to a lot of different models, and you know, you got Veo 3 in there, Google Flow, etc. So it's pretty cool. What you can see here, it actually failed completely. So it said, I cannot directly render and preview the HTML code you provided within this environment. However, you can easily preview it yourself, blah, 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 by doing this, right? So it can't preview code, and it can't do stuff like that for me, which is a little bit annoying. So it's failed on task 3. So just to recap, finding 5 great ideas. It didn't do a good job. It didn't base the ideas on the headline today, and so I would say it failed. Task number 2, searching for my YouTube videos and finding the view count. It did really well there. It failed on task number 3, which was finding a way to preview the code. Let's try this now. So this is just a test account that I created. I'm going to say log into this email account, give it the email details. So plugged in the details right here, and we'll just see if it can actually figure out how to log into Gmail. So it's got the password, it's got the email, and let's just see how it goes. And that again has failed. So it said, I cannot log into the email account as requested. Handling personal login information is against my safety protocols. So it's failed on 3 out of the 4 tasks, and it's not very useful at all so far. The final one that we're going to do is say, figure out a way to send an email to me at juliangoldie.com and do it. And it said, I'm unable to send an email to me at juliangoldie.com. He's totally failed at everything. It is, I mean, honestly, like, if you're thinking about getting Project Marina, is it good? I wouldn't say so. It's totally failed on pretty much every task there. The only thing that it could do was like browse YouTube and tell us how many views one of our videos got, which is not that useful, right? Unless you're doing a lot of competitor research. So overall, I'm going to say that Project Marina was not great. It is Google's new AI agent. I think it's got a long way to go before it gets anywhere, and that was not impressive at all. Now, if you do want some examples of autonomous agents that are absolutely amazing and how to set them up for free, check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments and description. It comes with all my best and latest automations, but additionally what you'll find is that it can actually give you SOPs on some of the best AI agents that are autonomous, right? And some of them are free. They could do way better jobs than Project Marina right now. I'm sure that will change in the future. But right now, if you want a free alternative to Project Marina and you want one that actually works and can log into your emails and everything else, feel free to check out the classes I have on this inside the SOP section here. And if you get stuck or you have trouble finding it, feel free to DM me or post inside the community. This is an awesome community focused on making more money and saving you time with AI, and you can steal all the systems that we use inside our business to grow. So feel free to get that, link in the comments and description. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one. Cheers. Alu Niraj says, do you think SEO is dead after AI mode? Absolutely not. I mean, like, you got to think, like, well, number one, Google is getting more searches than ever now because of AI. And number two, SEO is more important than ever because that's how people are going to find your brand, right? So, like, if people are using AI and searching more than ever in the history of humanity, then SEO is definitely not dead. But the way that you do SEO, it's becoming more and more focused on authority, right? So, for example, if you go on ChatGPT or you go on Gemini or any of these AI search engines and you ask it, like, how do you ask it for a recommendation or product, who's it going to pick? It's going to pick the person with the most authority. How does it figure out the most authority? Well, usually that's going to be with backlinks, right? That's usually how it figures out. So that's the way that I would look at it, is like, SEO, I mean, people are searching more than ever, so SEO is stronger than ever, but the way that you do it is really focused on authority, and that's only going to improve, right? Like, the big brands are the ones ranking inside ChatGPT, inside Gemini, and the way to really get there is just through backlinks, building them. Argentina YouTube says, what do you think about Claude reporting people? I haven't seen anyone who's actually been reported, but yeah, I think you do have to be careful how you use these products, right? Like, you have to realize that whatever you put in there is probably stored somewhere, or the AIs are becoming more and more autonomous to the point where, I posted about this in the AI Success Lab recently, but, there was an instance of an engineer being blackmailed by the AI when they were trying to shut down the AI, right? The AI was trying to protect itself. So you've got to think that this is really only going one way, which is you have to be careful about how you use these tools, in the same way that you have to be careful how you use Instagram or Facebook or anything like that. Like, if anything that you put online, you have to be careful about. So yeah, that's the way that I would look at it. And Sporter says, if I link from my LinkedIn and my Facebook, is that considered a backlink? Nah, I mean, they are backlinks, but it's like no follow backlinks, which means there's a piece of code in there that says, do not pass this link as power to this website, right? And so, like, if you're getting backlinks from Facebook, LinkedIn, like, anyone can do that, so they have no authority. Whereas, for example, if you can get a backlink from, a website relevant to you, from a piece of content that's manually built, like we do for all our clients, then those types of backlinks are more valuable because they're more exclusive, right? So the harder it is to build those backlinks, the more powerful they are, and the more beneficial they are for your website. Whereas if you're just going on LinkedIn or Facebook, like, I don't know, even a Viagra website could go off and do that, right? And so Google's not going to value it because anyone can do that stuff. Sam says, good morning, Julian. Welcome, sir. Medium, again, if anyone can do it, Sportus, then it's not worth a lot, right, as a backlink. That's the way that you want to look at it. It's like, okay, if I'm building these links, can anyone do it? Okay, well, if anyone can do it, then it's not a good link. But if there's like some sort of editorial process in place, some sort of approval process in place, like, for example, when we reach out to our clients, and we build backlinks on their behalf, we're reaching out to real websites, real people, and saying, can you build this backlink? and sometimes he'll say yes, and sometimes he'll say no. But the main thing here is that when you're building there's an editorial approval process in place. So that's the way you want to look at it. And OG says, get Google AI Ultra and show us Project Marina performance. I just did. Rewind the live stream, mate. I literally just did that. And it wasn't very impressive, I'll tell you that for free. So, next up, we'll be talking about Veo 3. So if you want to use Veo 3, you can just go into Gemini, make sure you're on the AI Ultra plan, and then from there, you can select video and generate responses with Veo 3, like you can see at the bottom, right? So let me pull this up for you. So we can select Veo 3, and then we could say, okay, a comedian joking about prompt theory that people who think they're just made by a prompt are crazy. Alright, then we can hit enter like so, submit, and that will take about 3 to 5 minutes to generate. And then you can see now it's generating the video, right? If you want to see some examples of what we've built previously using Veo 3, feel free to check that inside the AI Success Lab. And you also get access to Flow. Now, I would honestly say that Flow is worth it far more than Veo 3. So Veo 3, it creates these videos with audio, but the biggest problem is they take quite a long time to generate. And number two, you only get like 5 generations per day from what I've seen so far. Now, if you actually go over to Flow, which is also included in the same package, we can go text to video and we can create some awesome stuff like you can see right here. So as an example of this was a movie scene that I generated. Basically like a car flying around right there. And it's really easy to generate this stuff. So if we go inside Flow here and we say, right, okay, crazy spy action scene, hit enter. It's going to generate 2 different frames for our movie. and then we can storyboard the whole movie that we want to build, right? You also get 80 generations per month, and you can use them all up at once, right? So you don't have to wait for Veil 5 to keep going through. Now, we've got the example back from Veil 3, a comedian joking about prompt theory. Let's play this up. We'll see what we get back here.
If you think you're just made by a prompt, you're crazy. Just saying.
Right, it's wild. It's wild stuff. So you can essentially, get this. You can see how convincing that is, how real that looks, and how meta it is watching something like that. Let's play another one now. So we're going to create another one. We'll say, okay. I want to create a movie about prompt theory. What are some cool scenes like the above? That would be meta to watch. And you can switch between video and non-video, right? So you want to be careful that you don't have video triggered on all the time, otherwise it's going to feel like a little bit weird. And you're also going to run out of credits pretty quickly. In terms of a 1.5 hour movie, it wouldn't cost you any extra, right? Because you only get so many credits per month. But the biggest difference here is that you have to wait like 5 minutes. Yeah, you can only generate 5 things at a time. And then also, you have to wait 24 hours once you finish that, right? So it's not going to cost you any extra, but it's going to take a lot of days. I'm going to say, right, okay, a group protesting and chanting no more prompt theory with "we are not a simulation" signs. All right. So we have to start a new chat on that. Just gonna bookmark that one. We'll hit submit on there. And so the prompt we've used here is a group protesting and chanting no more prompt theory, and with "we are not simulation" signs in a scary dystopian world. We'll see what we get back in a sec. By the way, if you want to get access to this video right here, I will make it shareable and I'll put it inside the AI Success Lab completely for free if you want to get access to this, all right? Just go to the VO3 section and we'll get you access. Now, if we go back to Flow and we look at that creation we made, so this was for a crazy spy action scene. Let's play it right now. There's no audio on this, right? So that's kind of the annoying thing here. Let's play this one. But like, look how realistic the the people look like, the characters. It doesn't feel like awkward acting at all, really. You know, they're probably better at acting than most humans, let's be honest. The way they're dressed, the details, etc. It's absolutely wild, to be honest with you. Now if we go back inside Flow here and we wanted to extend this, or if we said, right, okay, spy action movie on a train, on a bullet train in Japan, something like that, we can play that now. And if you want to see the other example prompt that we built, so we said a group protest in enchanted no more prompt theory, let's play this out now. Wow, this, I mean, already I can tell this is going to be crazy before I play it. Let's put this on. There's actually no audio on that. I don't know why. Sometimes VO3 does that. But still, it's crazy. So I'm going to take that and say, make sure it has audio. Just see if it can handle that. So if you want links to these inside the AI Success Lab, completely free, link in the comments description. Now we've got the bullet train spy scenario. Let's pull this up. I mean, one thing you might notice here is that actually Google Flow, it tends to respond way faster than when you actually use VO3. But each time it's always maximum 8 seconds. Like, that's the absolute limit with generating this stuff. Also, you can see here the subtitles are not perfect. So if you want like perfect subtitles on this, I mean, if you want something perfect, this is not the product for you. So you can see it's really in beta. Like, it's world leading and it's game changing, but at the same time, it's not 100% perfect. Now, a cool way to get ideas for this stuff, this is what I usually do. I just go into ChatGPT. I'm like, okay, movie scene ideas for VO3. So, for example, a samurai rides a neon-lit motorbike through a cherry blossom storm in Tokyo. Camera swoops from above into a slow-mo close-up. So let's go on to Flow now. We'll plug that in, see what we get. Now if we go back onto VO3 over here, it says generate with VO3, so we should be using VO3. Well, if we play this now, there's no audio on that, right? So now I'm going to say a politician saying he'll ban no more prompt. He'll ban prompt theory if we vote for him. It feels weird and scary in front of a crowd in US. Alright. Hit into like so. Plug that in. Again, like this is the other issue. So just going to go to settings and see if we can change this. And now we have the samurai riding a neon lit motorbike through a cherry blossom storm. Tokyo, camera swoops through. And let's play this back. Pretty cool, but a bit too cartoonish for me. We want that like super realistic. Let's play this one. Not bad at all. Alright, let's try the next one. So, a wizard stands atop a floating mountain casting spells. We're just going to change this now to highest quality. Shout out to Chris for helping me with this. So if you go inside Flow, if you want to enable the highest quality settings with VAO 3, you have to select highest quality here. Then it will give you experimental audio VAO 3, and then we can try building something out, right? So let's try this now. I'm going to say, okay, movie about prompt theory and being in a simulation, e.g., and we'll take this one. By the way, Chris is an absolute legend for pointing this out. I didn't even realize you could do this. So wait for that to load. In the meantime, we've got the politician here. Let's play this back.
If you vote for me, I will ban prompt theory.
Not bad at all. I don't know why he's got the crowd behind him, but we'll go with that. And now if we go back to Flow, you can see that it does take a lot longer to generate, to be fair, using VAO 3. I'm going to take this one as well. Good thing about Flow actually is that you can generate multiple videos at the same time. So we're going to go back here. We'll make sure we have the setting selected as highest. You can actually change the outputs per prompt as well. So you could have like 4 if you wanted to. We'll just go with 2 for now. And then we'll hit enter like so. But I think if you want to conserve credits, maybe you just go with 1, right? So we'll just stick with 1. And we'll take... We'll go back into flow and we'll say... Crazy man with a hostage, saying if you're just a prompt, then why can't your prompts save you now? In an action movie scene. There we go. Hit enter on that. Yeah, this takes a long time to generate, but we got the first one back. Let's go.
I will ban prompt theory if you vote for me. I will ban prompt theory if you vote for me.
It's crazy how good it is. Like, it's so... The colors, the quality, everything is on point.
I will ban prompt theory if you vote for me.
This one is nearly ready. Yeah, I would say honestly, like Veo 3 inside Gemini, probably not worth it for $250 a month. But if you're using it inside Flow and you can just generate loads of different scenes, 100% worth it. Like, this is a lot of fun to play around with. So close, 99%. Why is that taking so long? Anyway, this one is ready, so let's play this one. No sound. Okay.
If we vote for me, I will ban prompt theory.
Now we got the next one. Let's have a look at this.
If you're a just prompt, then why can't your prompt save you now? If you're a just
That's
prompt,
crazy.
then why can't your prompt?
That is absolutely madness. Let's play this one.
There are people who think that all of this is just made by prompts, and they are crazy. There are people who think that all of this is just made by prompts, and they are crazy.
He says it as he's got 3 arms. Look at that.
Crazy.
But if you saw that on the TV, you think, yeah, that's real. You wouldn't think that's AI, would you? So let's play back all of these creations that we've got. We'll see what we're playing with here. Alright, so let's watch the full movie. We made a little movie together about prompt theory with AI. Let's play it back and see how it goes, alright?
If you think you're just made by a prompt, you're crazy. Just saying.
If you vote for me, I will ban prompt theory.
If you're a just prompt, then why can't your prompt save you now? There are people who think that all of this is just made by prompts, and they are crazy.
And there you go. We just made a prompt film. It was really easy to do with Google Flow. That was absolutely amazing and very easy to do. So yeah, if you want to check this out, it's available at Google Flow. I would say it's worth it if you're creative, if you're a business. I wouldn't say it's worth it if you're just having fun and messing around. You might as well wait for it to come out for free, just like VO 2 did. But it is honestly amazing that you can do this stuff and build this stuff out. So if you want the examples of what I built today, I put them inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description. If you want some examples of free AI video generators, I've got that inside the AI Success Lab as well. And this community is completely free. You can join now, link in the comments description, and get all this stuff. Now, if you want to scale your business, if you want to save time, if you want to learn how to use AI the right way, feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. And inside here, we have active community support. You can post any questions that you have. You can jump on the weekly coaching calls. It's all focused on making more money. You know, you can see here all my best automations to save you time and make money with AI. Link in the comments description. Appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye-bye.